See it, baby. I'm not gonna bring you along for this. You're not protected in the streets.
You gotta treat that bitch like a bad bitch around some niggas. Like, no.
Yeah, the niggas
can't let
the concrete. Take that bitch out.
Nah, you're not allowed to out the house with that thing.
Nah, you gotta stay inside.
We on Netflix and chill in here.
Not gonna scratch your surfaces.
By the way, we're talking about a phone. So yeah, highly offensive. Episode 112. What's happening, folks? You know what I'm saying? Like, glad to be here. You know what I mean? We got Matt in the building.
Hello.
We got Kay off screen. Say hello.
Hello.
Say hello.
I did. Hello.
Like Sam.
Hello.
All right. Anyways, as you can see, we're all excited to be here. And we're here to present you a dope ass show. As I'm sure you've seen out there in the news, yo, this world has been fucking going upside down. And it's been a crazy torrent of fucking just, news after news after news. People are dropping like flies, like people within the government looking kind of shady right now.
Everybody going to jail.
I mean, more shadier than, the government usually looks. But you know what I mean. So anyways, without further ado, you know what I'm saying? It's highly offensive, episode 112. We're in a good mood, you know what I'm saying? This is being recorded off a brand new Samsung S24
Shout out
Plus.
To Samsung. Pulling it down.
Shit. Survived the first drop.
Fuck you, Apple. You bitch ass niggas keep putting out the same phone, nigga. We know what's going on.
Yo, bring back Steve Jobs. Yo, like dig that nigga up. Like
you guys are.
They got like cloning or some shit. You would think like with all the fucking juju the Illuminati got, they would have brought Steve Jobs back by now.
They're like, guess what? We brought you the same phone that you had last year with AI. Like, wait a minute, nigga. You just like curved the back, gave me the same phone, and added a little sprinkle of AI in it, nigga. You got that shit. You got that shit last year. You're gonna work that out. Come on.
As you can see, this was not brought to you by Apple.
No, it was not.
But
it's not.
Hopefully, this is not scared them from one day extending a hand. But if you don't, then fuck you too. And we're sticking with our Samsungs anyway because they're better quality.
Yeah, I mean, guess who makes
more innovative?
Guess who makes your displays Apple? You know what I'm saying? Let's not have that conversation. But
Africans,
huh?
African.
No, Samsung. They make them.
You're talking about like little miners.
No, they make the panels.
I mean,
Samsung's a leader in making.
LED screens.
Well, LG does too, but LG does like home displays. Samsung's been like putting out them displays for a minute for fucking Apple shit. So.
Talking about that, this is completely off. This ain't even on the fucking topic list, right? But it just made me recall something. You know what I mean? Because I'm hyper prime and I do that when I'm faded or whatnot. But I was thinking of Andrew Schultz. He just went viral recently for saying some things about black women and whatnot. And during one of the clips that I had seen, he was arguing with his co-host Akash and one of his other guys, Alex Media. And essentially what he was trying to say was that, like, so you know how India and Africa, imperialism, they've been colonized, the Europeans and the whites, they pretty much, clean house. They had a fire sale over that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like,
everybody knows English.
Pretty much
didn't originally.
Andrew Schultz was saying, like, if not for white people, they would still be fucked up. They would have never been rich. They would have never been successful countries and whatnot. And I think that's like a real, like,
underhanded racism.
I mean, dude has a Nazi haircut. You know what I'm saying? So like when you look like you might do like, hey, you know what I mean? Like
you might bust one out in the lunchroom. It's like, wait till we're full and we have a staff meeting. Everybody's hot.
Right. There's always one of those guys. You know what I mean? Like you look at him, you're like, oh, like
he look like he might bust one out when we go on lunch.
Hi, Trump.
He sneezes with it. He sneezes with his arm up straight. It's kind of weird in a diagonal, toward the top of the room. It's kind of weird.
But yeah. I mean, like for example, I respect Andrew Schultz as a comedian, and I think I even taken some of some things from him, like in the sense that, like, you know, like I like to be very edgy, you know, with the comedy that I present. Even last episode, you know, when we were talking about the Haitians and the, you know, the Chinese, like I might have went a little over the line, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if I did, you know what I mean? Like, I apologize, but like, I'm just saying the shit that I be seeing. And if I'm wrong with the shit that I'm seeing, then my bad, you know what I'm saying? The nigga eyes fucked up. But, you know what I mean? Like, what I'm trying to say is like, right, like, with Andrew Schultz, like, it just seems like sometimes, like, he does it at a shock value. You know what I'm saying? Like, almost like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to say the most wildest shit because, you know, I'm not supposed to fucking say that shit. Like, and it's like, I think, like, right, like, when you're up that high, you really have people that, like, kind of check you and be like, hey, yo, you probably shouldn't say that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that is kind of the thing that happens. Like, if Akash was a little bit more vocal, if Alex Media would be like, hey, yo, I know you pay my bills, dog, but like, you ain't gonna talk about black women like that. Or you're not finna say Africa would have been a shithole if not for white people. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that kind of happens. So, you know what I mean? Like, if I ever start saying, wow, now you know what I mean, feel free to check because, you know what I mean? Like, we gotta maintain ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, humble and never looking down on any other people, like whether they're Americans, whether, you know, they're not Americans, illegal immigrants, whether they eat cats or not. It doesn't really fucking matter. But you know what I mean? Like, we have to make sure that we speak with cognizant of how our words can impact the listenership.
Yeah, I mean, like, people could take your words, you know, literally and do crazy things. But before we get off topic, and speaking on looking down on people, what did you think P. Diddy thought when he was staring at these naked people all over his house that made him want to whip out the baby oil and then put it in all the locations?
I mean, I think he saw a lot of fat asses.
I mean, he had like if like vision in his mind.
Like in my head, I'm thinking of like porn. Like, you know, like in porn, like when they got like the girl with like the big bubble butt and she's like dripping with fucking baby oil or whatever the fuck and all shiny and shit. Yeah. Like, I think that's what P. Diddy was looking at. Just a bunch of butts in the crowd. And he was just like, it's time to get the fucking, like, and just.
But isn't it crazy, you know, he like one of the craziest superstars in the world with rap, right? And he's going to go down forever being remembered as Hugh Cosby.
I mean, I think.
Because that's what he is at this point. He's Hugh Hefner and Bill Cosby at the same time.
I think,
he out there just drugging bitches and raping them, bringing in
Sean Epstein would be more like, you know,
I don't know
on the spot because it's really the biggest part of this whole RICO thing is the sex trafficking.
But you gotta think of it this way.
It was a criminal organization, like how he turned his labels and, you know, the things that he owned into a criminal enterprise and used that to facilitate his sex trafficking. Which is like similar to what Epstein did, where, you know, he was given an island by the owner of Victoria's Secret. And then he turned around and used that network to, you know, take an island and bring all the rich, you know, elite socialites over and fucking, they did what they did. And he was recording, making sex tapes of them in secret. And supposedly, you know what I mean? Like, it's, so I see the similarities
outside of that part. That creepy aspect, I'm gonna go beat off later while I watch the sex party and they all engage in the shit, right? Like, he's not there like a cabal with the knife to their neck, like, hey, come in here, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get raped. Hugh Hefner and Diddy have very similar things. So like, they're bringing people in, right? Across the state lines, all of them. They're having sex, right? Both of them. They're getting paid for it. Some of them got paid for it. Don't you believe that some of them didn't get paid for it?
I definitely think that some got paid for it.
That's the criminal part. But that's what I'm saying. But the difference is...
But if there's a lot of drugs involved, then that...
They did drugs there too. You cannot be like, they didn't do drugs at the Playboy Mansion.
No, I'm sure.
I know they were doing drugs. So I'm saying comparatively... They did very similar things.
Yeah, they're definitely very similar things. Yeah.
Now, where that diverse is that no one, as far as I understand, accused Hugh Hefner of like drugging them. I'm sure they had drugs and they were young. So in that regard,
he was more known for being a pedophile than being a sex trafficker.
That's what I'm saying. So all right, you have a pedophile person giving people drugs, paying them sex for money. That's sex trafficking. That's RICO.
No, I mean
I'm just saying like that's.
But Hugh Hefner's white. You know what I'm saying? Like
my point. What I'm saying is like it's not unconscionable as most people would comparatively, because there are other rich, powerful people that do the same fucking thing. They just didn't get caught up now. Well,
it's like the underground tunnels in New York. We never heard about that shit again. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know there was a certain people of a certain ethnicity, now to be racist, of a certain ethnicity that were found making tunnels under New York. And they found little kids in that motherfucker. They found beds that would look all bloody or shitty or some shit. I mean, and then that just disappeared off the news.
They could have been stowaways. You know what I'm saying? Somebody turned on the gas one winter and then they were gone. Like, that could have been what happened. We don't know. But I'm saying, like, as far as this thing goes, like, he's definitely Hugh Hefner and he's definitely Bill Cosby together. You know what I'm saying? If they're talking about he was giving people GHBs, a date rape drug, that's some crazy shit.
Yeah.
That's serious shit. He beat up Cassie. We all saw this thing whoop her ass. So, like, he has his demons, is what I'm saying. And then, like, the other shit, though, like, it's not crazy, like what Boosie said in his poster shit was the same.
So, again, like, right, we can't minimize some of the things that Puff is being accused of.
No,
right?
No, I'm just saying.
Like for example, right?
There are similarities. All I'm saying.
One is blowing up Kid Cudi's car for trying to talk to Cassie, and then hanging him over a balcony, threatening to drop him. You know what I mean, and kill him.
All I'm saying is
that, of course, it's alleged.
That's his shit.
But
like,
you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know why they let him do that to them.
The sex slaves. You know what I'm saying? At these freak offs, like some of these people, even if they gotten paid, were drugged up to the point where it's beyond reasonable that they could give consent.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like if you have to get IVs out and start like healing the sick, like they need some time off.
Now, granted,
you know what I'm saying?
But who's to say that people don't engage in these types of activities on a regular, willingly, knowing that they're going into that kind of environment, asking for that kind of shit. And then saying later, like, oh, no, this is not a regular, like, I couldn't just walk down the street and be like, oh, there's a Diddy party, let me just go there. You have to be a specific type of person to get, so you're talking about a very select few people walking into a nigga's mansion, right, and walking back out. They had to walk in alive and walk back out. At some point, no, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is it's strange.
Right, let's take the freak off side of it, right?
No, I'm just talking about the amount of people and for the extended amount of time and years. So think about it like I'm just numbers, right? So you'd say 30 people were at this party, right? Just say 30 people. We'll just give it, that sounds like a decent chunk of people. That's a lot of niggas. There's like 15 people, 15 groups of people.
That don't sound like a party to me, but...
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
At a puff party, I could picture like
I'm averaging out.
Good 100.
Maybe he had 10 one day because it was cold, and he had 30 the next. We'll just say it was 30, right? 30 niggas, women, whatever, right? How many parties in how many years?
Like what, one per year over a.
They're saying since
one major
2009 at least. Some of them are saying all the way back to J-Lo. So what I'm saying is you had that many people fucking for that many years taking drugs the entire time. All these ranges of people, and we're only hearing about it right now. That's weird.
I mean, it's not.
It is weird, nigga. Like, it's weird. I'm sorry.
Think about it. If he could blow up Kid Cudi's car and get away with it and hang Kid Cudi off a balcony, do you not think it would be reasonable to think that if someone did get raped at a freak off, they wouldn't say something about Diddy because they're afraid that they might get their car blown up or fucking hang off a balcony?
They've been known about this since before Cassie even came out with the shit, right? So you let him continue having these parties. He's such a fucking crazy. I'm sure the defense will say this too. Like, you let him engage in this.
Well, the government let Epstein exist.
After. But I'm just saying,
Epstein got arrested and then went back out and did it again.
I'm just saying. So,
I mean, like,
it's weird. Epstein had a lot of fucking weird shit go on with him, and he hung himself in a suicide preventable cell type setup. Like, it's just strange that it's an issue now and everybody's mad now, or not mad now, but like the government's serious about it now enough to charge him with it. And it sounds like it just sounds very convenient.
Think about this.
That's what I'm getting at.
Have maybe 10 civil lawsuits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, for all these civil lawsuits, you have to submit, evidence and state exactly, like reference what exactly this evidence is for. Hey, like Cassie did, she had a list out of, on this state, this nigga did this, and this. On this state, we did bam, 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 right? Like, if enough people put enough evidence out in civil suits where they could compile it up together now and say, hey, look, we can get you for RICO because we see that you use your enterprise to do this to Cassie, to do this to this producer, to do this. So it would be reasonable then, right, to think that maybe, for example, like when Puff gave the publishing back to the artists and had them sign NDAs, then maybe there was a reason he had them sign NDAs.
Yeah.
Because maybe he did or even like, for example, like, sure, maybe there was consensual,
that's what I'm saying. There had to be some form of consensual, even if there was some form of abuse, because the volume of people.
Of course, there's a part of it that is consensual because of his status. But what I'm saying is, like, for example, like, look at Justin Bieber. Do you think that was consensual? Like,
this is stuff we don't have proof on, though.
It's not.
This is just assumptions.
Of course, this is speculation, but there's also what. Justin
There's agreed upon fact of what actually we saw happen.
There's stuff that we've seen happen.
People that firsthand testimony, like Wale, when he was like, I'm pretty sure Wale said he hung him over the side of the balcony, like was trying to kill him.
Yeah, I think it was Wale.
Yeah, so like, okay, cool. Like firsthand testimony, I will take, or actual factual evidence. Like we saw this thing kick this girl. Like obviously he admitted to it, so it clearly happened. That I get those acts, right? It's all the other shit that I don't get for the period of time that it's gone on. It's just too much. Like people could be like, "Oh man," like Bill Cosby. There were like 65 people that came forward and said that he did this to me. Now I mean, like the sheer volume of niggas with firsthand account testimony of you doing this to them, I believe people at that point.
But this was like 40, 50 years later after the events happened. So, like, I mean, Puff is still in his prime. He's still a billionaire. He's still
40 years
like running shit in the music industry.
He's been doing this since 90 something, according to maybe 2000, whatever. He's been having freak offs for 20 fucking years. That's a lot of goddamn people having sex and taking drugs and no one saying or doing anything about it for decades.
What if the problem wasn't the fact that these freak offs were taking place, but what if the real problem is the fact that these freak-offs were being recorded and being held by Diddy with whatever the fuck motive he felt like holding these videos for.
I mean,
and we don't know who, for like, I brought it up last time. I said, for this to happen, right? The only thing I can picture is Diddy fucked with someone he should not have fucked with, someone who had enough power and position to call some people over at the FBI and be like, let's get this shit rolling. I need this guy is a problem now. Oh, I need you to go raid his crib and I need you to get whatever the fuck, get those tapes that he got of me.
Grab the baby oil, get cameras.
That he was threatening me with and shit. Get that shit out of there. And then get him the fuck up out of here. Because we got enough shit through the civil.
It's not a problem because he was doing it in that regard, then it's a problem because he became a problem. And that's the problem. It's not that Diddy is the problem. The thing is the problem. The thing is not Diddy. Diddy was doing the diddle with the deeds. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is Diddy is not the only diddler.
No,
there are diddlers everywhere. And they do a diddle out there to make us feel like they're doing something. There are diddlers everywhere.
That's what Kendrick was saying. Like, watch the party die, or even like on Mother I Sober, Kendrick was saying like, yo, I look at my peers and I know y'all niggas was sexually abused, and that's why y'all got drugs on. I mean, that's why y'all be doing these drugs. That's why y'all got these chains on, because y'all got this fucking y'all been put into this industry that literally pimps you out. Like and it's not just like Diddy, like for Diddy to do the shit that he did and to get away with it, like on a label level, that means that the people above him knew what the fuck he was doing and was like allowing this shit.
It's got to be beyond
because I mean,
that,
like clearly he was using his business to finance some of these things, right?
This is where we get.
That's where the racketeering comes in because
I'm like, how can you prove to that extent, that deeply and that closely that he was doing that? And you didn't see it for all of these years.
If a hotel room where a freak off took place was paid for by a bad boy label fucking credit card, and someone is saying, "Hey, yo, this happened to me here," and you're using the company credit card to finance these things, then it leads a paper trail back to the company itself. So now the person can go, okay, well, I can sue you now and the label because it was now a dual function. One was an agent of the other. You know what I'm saying?
I just think it's like when you use RICO so loosely in that regard, anything could be RICO. RICO is intended to prosecute racketeering and like criminal enterprises. Now, when they make anything a criminal enterprise, he's a freak. Don't get me wrong. He was doing crazy, weird shit. I'm not condoning none of his bullshit that he did. What I'm saying honestly, is that I don't feel R. Kelly is.
I would feel safer around R. Kelly than I would around P. Diddy.
Yeah, but like,
I would feel society would be a safer place where at least like R. Kelly like knew the parents and was like, you know what I'm saying, like. As fucked up as that shit was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like this dungeon shit that like with 1,000 baby oils and
I'm not saying any of that's normal. What I'm saying is I don't see the criminal enterprise in him being a freak and having a lot of power and being a man of power and doing shit that a lot of other men in power.
But if you're doing that to your artists, your employees, like Cassie or like Danity Kane, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're as the boss using your power to sexually get your way,
I feel like this is another where this type of shit happens every fucking where. You know what I'm saying? They threw this nigga specifically, but there are a lot of people like that.
Well, I mean, yes, there's a lot of Weinsteins.
Like yeah,
but that doesn't mean that you don't go for the one when you finally got it.
I didn't say that. What I'm saying is question the timing and the people that are providing you the information. So the person prosecuting them was also the person that watched them for decades do this shit. Someone knew something, right? This is P. Diddy. These are famous people. They are friends with famous, strong, powerful people. Someone knew something and they watched this nigga do this, and it was never a problem until Cassie went on record and sued this nigga. It took them decades to do anything until she did something. Now, was that on purpose? You know what I'm saying? Why?
And then there's the optics too, because if Cassie now is alleging, hey, this was happening to me while I was under your label, and all this other shit, and y'all knew about it, then how does that make the government look now? Like, so on the heels of an Epstein happening?
But I'm saying that,
you know what I'm saying? So of course they're going to be like, oh yeah, no, we're going to take this guy down.
It took her doing that for them to care enough to do that. You get what I'm saying?
Of course.
It wasn't happening before then. It wasn't such a tragedy before.
Because they probably had party invites.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
there's them that gate the fact that he did what he did, and he should.
No.
And that's what I'm arguing is.
I agree with that. Yes.
Like I've heard.
The government is.
No, I didn't say
I'm playing their part in this, but like
I'm just saying it's no. I'm questioning the timing and who's involved. Like, what's going to come out of it? Like this motherfucker, if he gets to the court and he actually testifies, which people think he's not going to testify, but like if he gets up there. If he gets up there and tries to testify, I guarantee you he's gonna end up dead.
Oh yeah,
like somebody's gonna kill him.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. Like I don't think he'll make it to testify.
But that's why that makes me question the timing. Who is behind that part of it? More that to me, that's more interesting than the person that they dangle before us and say, "This is your demon." You know what I'm saying? Tear him down. I know there are other demons that are overseeing this specific demons getting teared down probably because they take some part in it, or he had some evidence, to your point, on them that made them feel like, okay, like we got to deal with this nigga now. Or it could be Cassie. It could be Cassie.
Well,
either way,
I think
fucked
like,
up.
I think the Cassie thing just got the ball rolling in the sense that like when because people knew that she got a settlement because Diddy settled within a day, right? Yeah. So like if, for example, right, let's say you did get raped by Diddy, right? And you had to swallow that, tuck that shit in the back of your mind and fucking live with that shit for years, and you just chilling somewhere at home in your little shitty 2-3 bedroom place, fucking ain't got a lot of food in your fridge, and you look in your news and you see Cassie talking about, yeah, this and this happened to me, and she got a settlement. What do you think you finna do? I mean, you finna cash that check, and I'm sure there's a lot of disgruntled people out there that have been, and not just people, victims, people that really, this shit really did happen to. Yeah. Like, and you see like how hard people fall off when these things do happen to them. So it's like, you know, there's probably like, God knows how many skeletons in that fucking closet. Yeah. And so of course, once there's a check involved, you know what I'm saying? Like, which, yeah, it's fucked up that like, that's the incentive in a lot of these, you know, cases. But maybe, you know what I mean? Like, for them, that's the only way they feel like they can get justice is, and I do understand a bit of that as someone who's been through a lawsuit myself. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, it's plus because, right, maybe like you couldn't go at him years prior to because he was so powerful and so well connected and all this other shit. Now that you see that this is happening, maybe you feel a little bit more safer in presenting your shit because like, what? Yeah, no, because if she's coming out with this shit, they're gonna believe what I'm saying too because it's going to be similar. And I think that he just did enough people wrong where it just piled up to the point where it's hard to ignore if you're, you know, the federal government. Like, what all these things are happening under your supervision. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be in the state of New York, so like, you know, there's all these, you know, we just seen New York Mayor Adams. I mean, Eric Adams fucking, they took his ass out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to get too deep in that right now, but you know what I'm saying? Like, these things are happening and the government has to be like, all right, now I got to give you pop out. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the reason for it? Like, for example, it's like Trump. Like, we know Trump has probably broken the law so many times that by the time the shit finally caught up to him, like he was surprised as fuck. Like, what you mean y'all finna give me with like, y'all been giving me fucking little
all this judgment you're giving me.
Like you have free cards and fucking and little wrist slaps and shit. Now y'all talking about I'm a traitor to the U.S. and this and that. I was just trying to make some money, man. I'm a businessman. Damn, like, so like I can see like how a motherfucker who's gotten away with some shit for so fucking long, now that they're like that those reins are finally like kind of checked in now, like people seeing that publicly might be like, oh, what? Yeah, he fucked shit. He might have not raped me, and like, but let's say he did me dirty, I might be like, yo, I think he raped me. Yo, just seeing the amount, like, oh, he a rapist, yo. Like, people know that shit by now, yo. Like, nah, yo, I was at the 2016 freak offs, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and
did he diddle me?
It's crazy because like it could happen to anybody, yo. Like I was just talking about it with my boy from the Navy, you know what I'm saying? Like he asked me, he's like, yo, like, you know, 10 years ago, you don't know what the situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you have gone to a Diddy party? And I'm like, yeah, like in a heartbeat. Like I was making music back then. I was trying so hard to get my music heard, get that shit out, blah, 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 blah. I can't imagine what it would have been like, yo, if I would have gotten a phone call from P. Diddy or a DM saying, yo, come to this party, slide through, we finna get lit, we finna fuck some hoes. Like, it would have been crazy. Like, he could have brought me to the dungeon, like, and been like, yo, let's go fuck Cassie. And I'd have been like, what? We doing this? Like, hey, I'm recording this. I don't give a fuck.
Take that.
But you know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of power that he had. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also I think, right, there's a bit of like a revision of history where people, you know, years later, people can look back at previous events with new eyes, like with our terminology, and be
what's
like,
to stop somebody from looking back in the past and saying, well, you did this, you're going to jail for it. I mean, like, no one's free from that.
mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
well, I don't gotta worry about raping.
Well, yeah, as long as you don't do fucked up shit, you're good. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but to me, it's like, it's bittersweet because, like, people had let that ride, you know, people that shouldn't have let it ride.
No, definitely. I mean, and I know that the freak offs are still happening without Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, with probably the baby oil. Like,
but the prostitution, it gets me because I'm like, are we talking about niggas that just come in and sling dick? Like, is that what we're talking about? Like, you're paying male sex workers to go fuck people? Like, I don't think it's that horrible. Like, I don't think it's that, dude. Do y'all think it's horrible for that to occur? Like, I think if somebody wanted to pay for legal sex and that's what they want to do, they want to fuck this dude, then and have at it. Like, who the fuck is to stop you? You're literally policing the genitals at this point. You know what I'm saying? If this nigga makes $3,600 a week because he's out here slinging dick, you know, just slinging dick. Like, hey, look, I'm gonna take the IV. Give me some whatever you got and keep me awake, nigga. We go 24 hours in this motherfucker, and he makes $36.50. You know what I'm saying? Slinging dick. I don't really have a problem with it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. That's your body. That's your decision. Have at it, nigga. If you're doing that for work, you telling me you wouldn't go do the same activities for that price just to just sling your dick wherever. They're just like, yo, Jose, we need some dick here. You just get in there and sling that dick. You're going to be in here for 24 hours, but we're going to give you fucking bottles. We're going to pay you some money. We're going to pay for your flight, nigga. You need some Jordans. I got a spare one in the back. Here's some fucking sneakers, nigga. Like, I don't think anybody in the world would be like, man, that's fucking terrible. What a criminal for doing that. Now, the other shit, the raping, Bill Cosby shit, like this is what I mean. Like, if he had taken, if he could rewind one part of it, and he just said, like, all right, cool, like, we're gonna do the same thing, but everybody's gonna be cooperative. But, like, we're not gonna be like coercing you to be cooperative. We're not gonna drug you, but we're all gonna have fun. Like, no, it would have never been an issue.
Of course, and Justin Bieber would probably still be singing, but you know what I mean.
I don't know about the Bieber thing. You keep bringing up Bieber.
No, because I don't have enough proof, but I have enough awareness to see some shit and be like, yeah, no, there's something. It's like
it's weird.
It's like when Diddy pressed Fabulous on the Breakfast Champs interview. Like, come on, man, you don't party with me no more. Like, they're on the podcast. He can't say, damn, Fab, come suck this dick. Yo, it's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's saying, yo, come on, Fab, you don't party. It's been a minute. You don't want to party with me no more? You don't want to pick up when I call? Like, but that's code word for, I want to fuck, Fab. Why ain't you picking up my call? How come I ain't seeing you at the freak off? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm pressing you right now on this podcast because right now it's probably the only time I can really see you. So right now, and I needed this moment to know, yo, how come you want to party? You know what I'm saying? Like, why he pressing Justin Bieber at 16 saying, yo, how come you don't want to party? How come you don't want to see me no more? Little bro is 16. He ain't supposed to be partying. So why is he sitting there telling you, yo, like, yeah, you ain't even got my number. You got my agent's number. Like, why is he trying to duck you, Diddy? For a motherfucking reason. Because he went to your little parties. And some shit probably happened at these little parties that, like, got this little nigga singing, I'm so lonely.
I feel like he anything could happen. I don't know. I don't have proof of that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or even
speculate. Allegedly. We gotta throw allegedly.
Okay, you want some proof? You want some proof? How about we look at fucking the Yummy music video, where in the Yummy video, he's sitting there passing around little birthday cake plates with himself as a child on it, and these grown adults are sitting there fucking devouring him. Like, how much, like, clearly he can't come out and say, yo, I got fucked in the butt by OBJ and fucking Diddy. Well, but clearly, why some shit.
This is where we digress. Okay, right here. Full fucking stop, nigga. We do not have proof of these things.
We seen the video of Justin Bieber and OBJ.
Eating Justin Bieber. It's weird. It's fucking weird.
It's not weird that he's coming up from where his waist fucking area and his whole fucking mouth is fucking glistening and shining.
It's weird.
Because of course it's weird. He's sucking OBJ's dick in the club.
You can't prove that.
No, you can't prove it because it wasn't on camera. But I, as an adult, can reasonably look at a grown man that got fucking saliva all over his fucking mouth, who just came out of someone's crotch area, and be like, yeah, he's probably sucking some fucking dick there.
I don't know. Hey, I'm not sure.
It's a red flag. So.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know. I've gotten my dick sucked plenty enough to know to see the flags on. Like, yo, hey girl, you might want to wipe your mouth before we come back in off lunch. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know.
Shout out to the throat goat stuff. But
sponsored by
again, and I mean, listen, and I'm saying this all allegedly. Don't sue me.
That's what I'm fucking saying, nigga.
OBJ and all y'all.
We don't have any fucking proof.
Fucking creep ass niggas. But y'all know what y'all did. Y'all gonna have to live with that shit.
Fucking Justin Bieber imitating all his video and put it on live like we're fucking stupid.
Y'all gonna have to answer to God and maybe to the law. Y'all better hope that little boy don't get on stage and start talking. Is all I'm saying.
I think they
because if it was me, I'd be snitching. I'm taking the whole crew down. All you niggas, y'all pass me around like a blunt. I see if I will see y'all in court.
Speaking of fraud, PR stunt Ruby Rose pretended to be with Drewski. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh man, my man just to be. But yeah, nah, man, that's just crazy. I feel bad for Drewski, right? Because like he the fat dude that got the bag, Ruby Rose, right from the outside looking in. So it's like you got a baddie under your belt. You got like a certified top notch, like damn near every man's fantasy chick under your belt, and then like after shit don't work out supposedly, you know, like 2 months later, she pops up and goes, "Oh nah, he ain't never hit. He just paid for the PR. He just paid for the, you know, the social media posts, not the pussy." And it's like, damn, there was there was an option. You know what I'm saying? There was a tier where I could have gotten the pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. But you know what I'm saying?
It is personal level.
Yeah, because then it's like ain't this prostitution then? Like, which I mean, of course, if that's what you are, I'm cool. I've fucked plenty of prostitutes in my day, especially in the Navy. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying is, I don't get the whole prostitution thing. Like, why are you policing privates? Like, I don't get it.
I'm just saying, why are you admitting it? Like, what happened to the days where prostitutes just like hid in the corner and, you know what I mean, like tried to suck your dick in cars and didn't like openly get on Twitter or podcasts and be like,
are we calling her a prostitute?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying from her words. That's her words. She's saying like, yo, he ain't paid for that. Like, that shit was an option, but that he just didn't pay for it. Like,
he didn't pay for that.
Like,
bread.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So,
this nigga wanted coats. Wouldn't pay coats.
And trust me, if I had the money, I would pay for Ruby Rose. Like, in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? Like, heartbeat. If I had the money. I do not have the money. That's why, you know what I'm saying?
Clearly,
like,
Drewski don't have the money either.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, how do I put it? Like, Drewski's probably like that funny fat guy that like bags bitches. So like, if you like already had mad bitches and shit, like, and then like you run into a girl that's like, yo, like, nah, I'm this and that, like, I'm the shit. You finna pay for this. You finna pay for that. Like, you might be like, nah. And that's one thing that he did allude to is about her being a little too expensive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, these girls nowadays, I seen a tweet. It was like, these girls, they want you to these expensive ass dates that they can put on social media so that they can attract the guy they really want. You know what I mean? So they can go for the real market. And it's like, it makes you wonder, like, why is everything have to be so flashy with some of these people nowadays. Like everything is like so like audacious and shit. Like what happened to just Netflix and chilling? Like I've kicked it. Like I've told myself I wouldn't get into no relationship broke, but I fuck mad hoes broke. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't have $1 to my name and I was still getting some box. And we had a good ass motherfucking time because them bitches was coming back nearly every fucking night to the crib. And y'all know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so fucking poor Isaiah. But you know what I mean? That so for me, like looking at like some of these like high maintenance women, it's just like, yo, like y'all don't even seem like fun to be around. If everything's so money and whatnot, like you lose the appeal because now it's just surface. It's just your looks now. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, which of course Ruby Rose is fucking fine as fuck. Like her looks are great, but like past a nut, or past nut two, what do you got? What's keeping me around? What's keeping me engaged in a conversation? What makes me give a fuck to listen to about how your day went? Because if I don't even give a fuck, you might start to, I ain't even trying to hear that shit, bitch. My day was fucked up. You think I want to hear about your problems? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, and of course I'm a dickhead. That's why I'm the way I am. But you know what I mean? Like, it's how I look at things. And it's just like, yo, like, because if the pressure is on the dude to have the money, okay, cool. Now, once you got the money, well, then we're down. What you got? All you got is just a box. So outside of the box, what?
All you got is the box.
Like some of these bitches can't even cook. Like man. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these girls, like I've experienced it where like they joyful that, oh my God, I'm so happy you can cook. A man that can cook. I'm not supposed to, bitch. You supposed to be in the kitchen. Like, yo. That's how like I look at things. Like I know toxic caveman, you know what I'm saying? But I'm old school. Like if I gotta pay for all the shit, yes, you making me some sandwiches. Like, I'm sorry, but that's your designated duty as the person not paying for shit. Like, so when you sit there and be like, oh well, I'm independent. I ain't got to pay for shit. You paying for everything. And I ain't finna cook for you. Well, guess what? All you got is the box. And what if the box ain't even good? All you got is the box. Now we just sitting here together and just in silence because I done busted a bad nut and I ain't got no sandwich in my hands. Now I'm hungry and irritable. And you can't even console me because the box ain't good.
Damn. So,
but you know what? I'm an asshole. So let's, you know what I mean?
Speaking of things expensive and fatal, the police shooting in New York.
Segway, Ken.
Yeah, expensive and fatal, for sure. They shot the nigga. So they shot a nigga, right? That had a machete, right?
Nah, just a knife. I want to say, like a.
He had a knife, but you can't get a gun. Well, you can get a gun in New York illegally, but let's not talk about that. What I mean is, he had a pocket knife, right? From my understanding, so he had a pocket knife. He had two cops, and then like he had the knife out. They shot at him. They shot 9 shots, something like that. 9-ish shots. They shot him in the back, right? Like with his back turned.
Yeah,
he was running.
I know
he was running away, and they shot him in the back.
And then like a passerby guy.
They shot like 2 other people.
And then like a cop too, right?
And a cop got injured.
Yeah.
He didn't have a gun. He had a knife.
Yeah.
He was running away. They shot him in the back, and they shot some bystanders. So it sounds like either we need to train them better.
Come on, bro.
Or we need to just have AI robot police or some shit, nigga. Because, like, I feel like an AI robot could have handled that way better. Sir, put down the knife. Put down the knife. He's fleeing. I will chase him. I'll tackle him. But I'm not going to bust rounds off at everybody. His threat level is a knife. This is laughable. You just chop that nigga.
Getting shot at for not paying a fucking train fare. Like, that's really what it comes down to. Like, bro didn't feel like paying today. And they was like, all right, we finna shoot you. Like, it's like...
That's nuts. Yeah, you shouldn't...
And that's why there's been some protests in New York because people are just like, yeah, fuck your 250. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but there are some, we want them. The free buses.
Well, the MTAs, but this is like the down like in the subways, like, you know what I mean? Like, people, like, remember when we were there? The dude opened up that little side door, and I'm like, nah. That could have been us. That could have easily, we could have tried cutting through, and then a cop might have came around the side, seen us.
He's got a knife. He could have shot all of us.
Exactly.
Clearly, because they can't aim. I don't know how to.
Well, that because they can't fucking respond to anything without just shooting the motherfucker
dead.
They
should just be required to, like, I don't know, yell out a code or some special word before they fatally.
They're just like those pit bulls that you gotta like euthanize, like, because they just bit too many people. Like,
they need like
fucking
taser rounds that like shoot you like a bullet, but they like shock the fuck out of you. Drop. Like, I feel like that's the only way safe. Because if you miss, say you miss and you hit somebody, they're just incapacitated. They're not fucking dead or missing a piece of their flesh. You know what I'm saying? If you can't handle like de-escalation like that, or it's too crazy to, maybe you need some type of in between fatal and, you know, but also to take a nigga down. Maybe the nigga needed to be taken down. I don't know what happened beforehand before they started recording and whatnot. Maybe he was acting crazy. There are niggas that be acting crazy in some ways. You know what the fuck I'm talking about? This being there rocking and shit, playing with their meat.
If the cops would have came in there with like some billy clubs and just like
maybe they said, yo, their training is if the nigga has a lethal weapon, they are to respond with lethal force. And I get that, but what I'm saying is they should have a better, less lethal.
The people around though too though, like
the better, less lethal.
If the guy just has a fucking knife, I'm not about to spray up the whole fucking train station because he didn't pay $250.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like that has to factor in. It's like, yeah, okay, he has a knife. You do have the ability and the whatever to shoot. But what if instead of shooting you don't? Yeah. Because by shooting you're gonna put 30 fucking people at risk. Yep. You know what I mean? Or even your own fucking officer.
If there was a baby.
Like, imagine like being the officer that got fucking shot. Like,
I know why you shot at him. Why did you shoot me, nigga? My fucking leg. What the fuck? I was on the side. You see me on the side, nigga. You shot me, nigga. What the fuck?
Not about to be on desk duties.
I take a vacation. I didn't want to use my days. I was supposed to go to Rome in 2 weeks. You fucked up my vacation, nigga. But yeah. I feel like they should have like a better, less lethal option for sure. Mm-hmm. And they definitely need better training if they shot everybody.
Even if they had it, they wouldn't use it.
And they're suspect.
Like, especially NYPD cops. Like, NYPD cops look like, and I've said this before, I forgot about that shit like years ago on the first rendition of the podcast, but like, them niggas be roid raging. Like, they just, every time I see NYPD cops, yo, they be just like on one. Just trying to like beat motherfuckers up or shoot motherfuckers down, like, and it's just like y'all look more thug than the thugs. Yeah, but at some point, at some point, you start fearing the cops and not the thugs. Like, you doubt the killers up in the neighborhood, but you like, I'm scared of them niggas though. Like,
speaking of Israel, the bombs.
When were we speaking of Israel?
The thugs that pretend that they're good people and beat people up. You missed my segue?
I didn't understand it.
Yes, nigga, we're talking about Israel did the same shit. They pretend like they're good people. You didn't see the UN thing today? Where the prime minister walked out and shit, and everybody left, and then he started talking crazy as shit on the podium. Like, so all 3 people remaining, no, you didn't know? This nigga went ham. First of all, they let Palestine have their own representation at the council, period.
Can you pull it up?
I mean, I could, but I don't know what the fuck that is. But anyway, that's what happened, nigga. That happened. He came out and he was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna talk my shit for Palestine. What, nigga, represent? we're in the center now. And then that nigga came out and they all left. And then he was talking that fly shit, talking about showing different graphs about what countries are shit and how Israel is the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you kill all those people and then pretend like you're good? You know, but that's why the topic was the pagers. So I was like speaking to Israel because you were talking about thugs.
That shit is fucking scary. Like, I mean, we see things in movies where, like the government has the technology. Like, remember when, excuse me, Fast and the Furious, they did that one movie where they had the fucking shit that they shot at the cars, like a magnet or some shit, and then they just shut the car down.
Yeah.
Control. I was like, nah, that shit's, nah. Then like 2 years later, they were like, we really got that technology. Yeah. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, you're like, nah, they couldn't.
Yeah, they could.
And they are.
Yeah.
They're doing it. So it's just, it's scary as fuck, right? Because my very first thought after that was, well, couldn't they just do that to phones?
Yeah, the new iPhone has all metal battery case, so they said that it's not hard to do it at all.
Well, yeah, like from what I was seeing, it was like it's really easy to get around the controls of like to overload your battery and get it to explode. Like,
just have to deceive the devices enough. Set up a fake hotspot, do it that way. You can do a whole bunch.
It's like, for example, right? What if Israel saw us talking about this shit on the podcast and decided, you know what, let me blow up your phone, Matt, while you're at work?
What's up, dick?
You know what I'm saying? Like, if like that kind of technology scares me because that's not Warcraft. Like, I mean, like that's not war, right? Mm-hmm. Like. I almost feel like war, despite how ugly and grisly it can be, has some there's some ethics, some sort of morality behind it. Like, you fucked with my people, I gotta fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like almost like a fair shot it's kind of
like a get back kind of thing. Like, you shit on me,
I put my life on the line, you put your life on the line. We're gonna see who lives and who dies, right?
Yeah.
Like the fact that just
die for it, yes I am. Are we gonna die together, motherfucker? We not playing.
Just imagine some fucking, IT guy, fucking in Israel, just on a computer with a list of fucking pages that he could just be like, boop, activate, or like phones.
They would never do it one by one. It'd be automatic.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying, like a whole list where, like, let's say it would be like a whole, that activate would control like all those numbers or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that kind of level of like, that's scary because it's like, that's an assassination. That's like beyond like, I don't even, that kind of verbiage wouldn't even be used in the Geneva Conventions because that kind of stuff isn't even thought of.
No, that's war crime shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
they probably watched that from a drone, like far away. They just saw all these niggas get lit up in a row because there's a delay. They don't all get hit exactly.
Oh, they were jerking off to the footage.
You're like, oh yeah, yes. They never know it's us. Like, of course we know it's you. Who the fuck else would do that? Like, niggas, like when they said 6,800 pagers, I'm like, pagers? They make pagers, yo.
Pages blow up.
They got pagers cell phones.
Pager.
You can just get a Nokia phone. Why are we getting pagers here? Like, what is the point? Like, you're just not going to use your minutes. You're going to just send secret codes to each other all day. That's what you do.
Remember the chirps?
Get a Nextel, nigga. What the fuck you got a beeper for? I've not even thought beepers were a thing in the year 2024. I swear to God. I was like, who got beepers? Stop playing. They got
Lebanon
beepers.
got beepers, man.
This is fucking crazy.
It's not as
Nah, nigga, y'all got cell phone tower. You don't need beepers in 2024. Let's be real. Let's be real. You can get a cheap ass $100 Android phone and not ever use a beeper in your life. You know what I'm saying? Get your minutes.
Maybe they were worried about communications being intercepted. So like. Yeah.
That's what you beeper ass niggas get. That makes me feel like you suspect, and you might have deserved what you got. I don't know, but all the innocent people, you didn't deserve that. But the people, if you were down with the Hezbollah, y'all are beefing with these niggas and kidnapping kids and killing them and all that shit. That's all you, nigga. I don't know what to tell you about that.
It's just a little bit murky. I feel like warfare should be more fair than that. Like, if you're gonna go to war with these people, fine. Go in there,
military versus
fucking
military,
shoot them down like fucking men. Don't fucking blow up their pagers. Like, that is just such a fucking sissy ass way to wage
goes
war.
To sleep.
Like,
sentence at 5:30. That's when they like to do the shopping. Get that simple effect.
I just cannot respect that. And I mean, like, I can't respect most of what's happening in Gaza as it is already. So just tally up,
bombing kids,
another one on their tab. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, at some point, like, we have to look at these people for what they are, like, and be like, all right, man, we got to put this dog down, like, before he blows up the fucking all of us with him. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be terrified. Like, these last couple of days, bro, like, I've been scared as shit just thinking of my phone on me, and I'm just like, yo, what if that shit would have go off? Like, would that take off my whole leg?
Probably.
Or would that just, like, you know, just char me up a little bit?
Nah, fucking. It's the sepsis after that you gotta worry about. That shit set that. You know.
Plus all the foam parts, fucking the glass, fucking batteries, whatever fuck them shits is made out of. Like, that shit is scary, and it's scary that we live in a world where a country can wage war like that, and we just keep giving them money to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
signing off on it, like, you're our ally. Go bomb those children.
It's like, at some point, it's almost like we're afraid of them. Almost like we're like,
I just don't get it.
I don't want them to blow us up. You know what I mean? Like, just keep putting money on the books. Keep putting money on the books.
Something ain't right. I don't know. Speaking of something ain't right, I'm gonna put this out loud. Give us a talking break. Hold on. You can edit this if you want.
No, because I actually want you to play this stuff out loud.
Like the right word.
The audience could hear.
Crazy piece of reporting has just dropped, and it's led to calls for North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson to drop out of the race before this story even broke. People have known about it all day, and now we have it. Now we know what it says. The reporting is from CNN. It has not at this point been independently verified by NBC News, but it says that Robinson made dozens of very disturbing comments on a porn site between 2008 and 2012 before he entered politics. The comments include
somebody
Robinson,
definitely
the
looked
current
for that
lieutenant
shit.
governor, proclaiming that he is, quote, a black Nazi, and saying he, quote, wishes they would bring slavery back. I would buy a few, end quote. CNN also reports this, quote, the comments were made under a username that CNN was able to identify as Robinson's by matching a litany of biographical details in a shared email address. Many of Robinson's comments were gratuitously sexual and lewd in nature. He reportedly describes himself as a, quote, perv, and describes peeping on women in public gym showers. Now, even ahead of the story breaking, he issued a robust denial of the story and responded this afternoon ahead of it by posting this video.
Let me reassure you, the things that you will see in that story, those are not the words of Mark Robinson. You know my words, you know my character, and you know that I have been completely transparent in this race and before. Clarence Thomas famously once said he was the victim of a high-tech lynching. Well, it looks like Mark Robinson is too, by a man who refuses to stand on stage and debate me about the real issues that face you. Instead, they want to focus on salacious tabloid lies. We're not going to let them do that. We are staying in this race. We are in it to win it.
So, lots of layers here, right? The sex stuff, which is too lewd to read to you, exceeds my skill set as a cable news anchor. But given how important North Carolina is and where the polls are right now at the top of the ticket, the national presidential level, and given how central it is to both candidates' path to the White House, it's significant, that last thing that he says there, that he's, quote, not dropping out of the race. And this isn't his first scandal, right? He's someone who says, quote, some people need killing. He's trashed the civil rights movement. And Trump describes him this way as MLK on steroids. That's a quote. Deadline to drop out is midnight. TikTok.
MLK on steroids.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
From Trump though,
Mm.
kind of like, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. He's a weird dude.
I mean, he's fucking dumbass. For the simple fact that it's like, why would you use the same email for a porn site where you're leaving comments like these as like one that can be traced back to your campaign? Like, for example, like when I would go on job hunts. Like even now, I have like 5 to 6 email accounts. I have different email accounts for different functions of things. I have one for my artist shit. I have one for the podcast shit. I have one to apply for work in school and like my professional shit. I have one for fucking just bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, because I have the wherewithal to know that what if my employer happens to look up blah, 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 blah at gmail.com and fucking there goes Jay Cush, blunt and mouth fucking like drug test that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like immediately. So like,
Get it tonight. Piss in the cup.
I'm not going to put myself in that situation. I'm going to have the self-awareness to be like, let me create multiple emails so that, and even then, I still get terrified of crossover. You know what I'm saying? But like, clearly this band was not. You know what I mean? Like, and the smartest thing he could do would be to resign and just hope that people forget that you're Uncle Ruckus on steroids. Like, that's always I like to me.
Yeah,
because
mad racist.
Bro was talking about wanting to buy his own slaves. Like, if you're, and now me, I'm not black, so I can't like speak to the black experience, right? But I think black people acknowledge that slavery was a very fucked up thing, like that, like they wish had never happened, probably. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then to sit there as a black man and be like, I wish I could buy me some slaves. I mean, that's fucking wild. I can understand that. I could Trump saying that. Like, of course, I'd be like, I'm not voting for him, but I could see Trump saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it's coming from, you know, certain people, it's a bit more disparaging. So no, I'm not gonna say good luck to you to your race. I hope you lose, and the constituents of North Carolina choose a better, you know, fucking politician, because you're clearly not it. And if you would, I'd have more respect for you if you'd have taken some accountability for your own actions and
try to hide that shit.
Fucking,
well, I mean, maybe they are deep faking that nigga. I don't know. It's possible.
Also, just don't be nasty and leave comments on porn sections.
Yeah,
because there's people that do that. Like, there's people that like every time I'll be like trying to find like another video, I'll see like some comment, some dude just being fucking nasty, just fucking like
spread the peanut butter in your cheeks.
Yeah, just the thirstiest of dudes, fucking just like wish I could just lick the sweat off your back or some nasty shit.
I don't know if I'm gonna just see my balls in the comment picture.
I'm just not gonna comment. I'm just gonna like literally the second the nut leaves my body, I just shut off the phone. But I don't want to look at this. Like I just eject. I need to disassociate from the nastiness I just saw. Like, let alone go in the comment section and be like, I don't know, a fan of a porn star. Like, I can't imagine anything worse than that. Being like a fucking real fan of a porn star. Like,
speaking of things worse than that.
New at 10, a woman in San Jose is recovering tonight after contracting a bacterial infection from eating fish that she cooked at home. The 40-year-old mother became severely ill, and then doctors had to amputate all of her limbs to save her life.
Detailing what happened to 40-year-old Laura Barajas. The Post says Barajas bought fish from a grocery store in San Jose and cooked it herself. The next day, she was admitted to a local hospital and diagnosed with Vibrio vulnificus, a bacterial infection. Barajas has been hospitalized for over a month, and on September 13th, she had to have all 4 of her limbs removed to save her life. On September 1st, the CDC issued a health advisory about Vibrio vulnificus. It says about 200 people a year get a Vibrio infection, experiencing diarrhea, stomach cramping, vomiting, chills, and fever. The bacteria mainly live in salt waters on the East Coast and can be contracted through an open flesh wound or swallowing salt water. It can also be contracted by eating raw or undercooked seafood.
Met the last time she ever undercooked that cookie.
I mean, she'll never have a handle on it again.
I'm trying not to because that's fucking tragic, yo.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You go to the supermarket. I just went to the butcher.
God, why did you do this to me? You undercooked that fish. What? No. But then,
I want to know who the fisherman was. Who brought this fish to my table?
I do have
with all you niggas. I'm suing the boat.
I did have a problem with this because the girl they show and the person they show in the clip initially, that lady, is different than who they show in the picture. It's not the same person. They show. Watch when you see her photo. I mean, unless she AI'd the fuck out of her photo. Does that look like her?
No.
Nah, right? That's what I was like. If it is true or if it's not true,
it's probably true.
Up. I mean, it's fucked up. Sure, it happened to somebody. If it did
200 cases a year or some shit. So, I mean, it's happening to people out there.
Niggas lose their limbs for fish, and I don't know if it's worth that. Nah, not at all.
But that's why you gotta cook your meat. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure you use things like garlic to kill the parasites,
citrus.
Yeah, different shit to get rid of all that shit.
Use your lime juice. Use your citrus juices.
Use your lime juice.
Use your lime juice.
But you know what I mean? You got no one can foresee that they would eat something that's going to cause them to lose all 4 limbs. I think even people who eat fucking what the fuck's it called? Sushi. You know what I'm saying? That's raw fish.
But
I don't
think
they
cure it with lemon and shit and citrus.
Yeah, but I mean, any reasonable person I don't think would think, okay, if I eat this sushi, there's a chance I might lose all 4 limbs.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
People, I don't think they advertise that shit. It's not in the brochure.
No.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So I mean, sure, this lady, she thought, wow, I could buy this fish, cook it. You know what I mean? It's not, enough. But
yeah, I guess not. Well, speaking of people who thought. These motherfuckers. Woman calls out single successful men for not wanting to date single moms. It just came up as a Facebook topic.
Yeah, no, I seen a post.
Caught that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Before I get into what I think, y'all, what do y'all think? Because I'm gonna unload. Y'all just heard me talk about the box, so
I feel like people have the right to choose on either side. So, but I don't know. I don't know if one has something to do with the other. Single successful men. I don't think you're a single successful woman that pursue dudes that have kids. I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah.
Not that they wouldn't. Some people, the people that care, and the people that don't care. So I feel like it's a thing.
No, but I think it's more I think I talked to Kill about it. Right? I had seen it on a tweet on X, as it's called now. Excuse me, and
it's Twitter till I die. No, it's fine.
They it was a girl saying dudes with no kids are for women with 1 child, and I'm just no, bitch, don't be having all these babies and then turn around and expect niggas with no kids to then just come and fucking be father of the year. I'm sorry, because you know what I mean. Every child deserves a fucking father to be there and fucking help raise them and shape them into being a man, or be there for the daughter. Because you know what I mean. Kids, need those guidances, but it's you gotta be a little bit more careful who you fucking procreate with. You know what I mean? Just like it's on us, we gotta be careful who the fuck we put a baby into, because they might hit us for some fucking child support. And now we stuck for that shit for how fucking long. So it's they gotta be a little careful who they fucking, so that they're not sitting there looking at dudes with no kids being like, "Oh, you supposed to save us." It's like, no, we're not supposed to save y'all. Like, that's just like, now, of course, I'm not against dating women with kids. I've dated plenty of women with kids, and you know what I mean, like, been the stepfather figure. But to feel like that's your entitlement type shit, like, oh, you know, dudes with money are supposed to single successful men are supposed to come save this mother of three in the hood. No, bitch. Keep your ass in the hood, because you wouldn't know what the fuck to do if you had a motherfucking single successful man in living it up. Fucking, he probably try to introduce you and put you on some nice shit, and you would just fuck it all up with your fucking dusty ratchet ass. Like,
well, why they gotta be all that?
I'm just saying, like, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure. I'm not talking about somebody in particular.
But there are, for example, like, people that, like, you know, you couldn't, like, at least me, there's girlfriends that I know I could only have while broke. Like, me and her would never make it if I ever was successful. Like, you don't know how I eat right. Like, what we gonna do when we get invited to the Jay-Z brunch, Rockaware brunch, and you over here fucking two hands in the fucking in the plate. You know what I mean? Just acting a fucking mess. Like, I need to, I don't know. Like, I feel like some people, you know, you can't put in certain situations. Like, you just know, like, they're not gonna thrive. Like, that's how I feel like that's how it be. It's like, why do you have the expectancy that, like, these dudes are gonna come save you? Like, again, so what do you have to offer? Like, if you're a single successful dude and you have a plethora of fucking options, you can fuck single successful women in your field, fucking successful women outside of your field, fucking just even a bitch with dreams. And then there's just you with your fucking 4 badass kids. Fucking
I feel like anybody can have a perspective, and everybody should respect everybody else's perspective, because that's your perspective, that's their perspective. You would like them to be a certain way, but just as you were when you were having kids with whoever you were with, you were choosing to be who you wanted to be with. And I feel like everybody should have that choice. I don't feel like you should look at one group and say, why are you not doing this? That's not your place.
Mm-hmm.
It's nobody's place.
Yeah.
I feel like that's your own groove. If you like it, great. If you don't, you can't force a demographic to suddenly align with your values. It doesn't work that way for anybody.
If anything, I feel like you should be working on yourself to make yourself more appealing to that demographic that you're chasing.
Who's to say that they're not doing that? Like, there are people that are doing that, but beyond all that,
if you're saying though, like, no, these single successful guys are supposed to come be with us.
But I'm saying there's a fallacy with that. You can't tell another group or demographic that you have to align with what my group or demographic would like our preference can't become an imposed social, like, issue for, like, you.
I'll even give a better example. It's like for example, right? If I had, if my girlfriend was a solid 10, right? At least in my eyes, right? I would not be fat. I would have the wherewithal to know that if I want to keep this 10, I need to make sure I look good. I need to make sure I go get my haircuts every 2 weeks. Make sure my shit's fresh. Make sure. Now, of course, I'm gonna slip and slack a little bit once, you know, like, you deep in a relationship and shit. But for the most part, you know, hey, I need to, in order to maintain the status quo, this is her type. This is what she likes. I'm gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like for example, right? You want the let's say I want Ruby Rose, right? That's my dream chick. It's not, but let's say that was. in order to make myself more appealing to Ruby Rose, what do I have to do? A, post on Facebook, Ruby Rose should try broke niggas because broke niggas be really giving good dick. Or get some fucking money. Because Ruby Rose, you know what I mean? Like, paying for pushing his option over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, she get the upgraded Drewski package. You know what I'm saying? Which one do you think is going to work? A, post on memes on Facebook crying about my demographic not being attracted to me? Or B, becoming more attracted to my demographic?
Yeah, but my thing is, like, attraction doesn't defeat preference. People are going to prefer what they prefer.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying if the girl prefers, let's say, like the Ruby Rose, she prefers the dudes with money. If I'm a broke dude, but I want Ruby Rose.
Yeah, but there's sometimes
I clearly cannot be a broke dude to get Ruby Rose.
But understand what I'm saying. A preference is a preference. If she only like albino niggas, you can't just become albino.
Well, no, of course.
That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is like
you can't force preference on somebody.
Every dude has preference, bro. If we're talking about like the overall general single successful dudes that are making, let's say, 150 grand plus a year.
Yeah.
If that's the dude that you want, fine, by all means, go for it. Yeah. But make yourself more appealing to the fucking dude with the $150,000. Again, especially if you got 3-4 kids.
Sometimes you just can't. Sometimes that demographic of people is not. You got to think about what that person has to lose or give up. If either one, if it was a woman or a man that was single and had 150, they made 150 grand a year, very financially well off, have no family yet, and you want them to jump into your family, essentially, if you have like a lot of kids, especially, even like one kid, like you're bringing that person into your kid's life. So you want them to deal with an aspect that they probably never even contended with in their mind. And that is so far from, that's crazy because like, maybe if they had been in a relationship with kids, but then with like lowering the numbers of people that you would potentially, you know, like dissect or interact with, just like we wouldn't run into a millionaire motherfucker that's like, hey, like,
of course,
I want to be in this. They don't care about because of the income is not the same. And it's not to say that it's that way, but it is that way because there are certain demographics of people that would be with certain demographics of people. And one can't look at the other and say, look, you're my preference, so why am I not your preference?
Yeah.
You chose life to be a certain way, and they did too, and those groups of people are on paths that are like this. You know, they have those like never-ending trajectories where they just go like this. People be like that sometimes. I'll never be with like a neo-Nazi. It'll just never fucking happen. We'll always be like this.
Yeah.
And you can't be mad because somebody else is like this, nigga. You chose to be like that.
Yeah. I mean,
you could have been like this. But no, you're like this.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with shooting up or shooting down. Ain't nothing wrong if you got dreams, chase your dreams.
I don't think it's an up or down thing. I think it's a preference thing.
Of course, every person has preference. But what I'm saying is, like, for example, you don't know what a person's preference is before you shoot your shot. You don't like sit there and go, you don't know, okay, she only likes black guys, so let me not talk to her because I know she only likes black guys.
But I'm saying if you did know, you'd be like, okay. Like, for instance,
just know, for example, there's a certain type of dude that she happens to be around. Dudes with money.
Think of this, for instance, statistically, you're like, all right, cool. A person that was in a relationship with children being with a person that has never had children and is very successful. I guarantee you there's a statistic on this, and it's very fucking low. My point is, like, it's not about none of that.
I'm sure, like, the chances of it being successful are not high.
Just not even that. Just interacting because you guys are in different groups. But
it happens because of the internet, though. People, there's IG models in fucking Miami who aren't worth squat. Get flown out to Dubai to get shot on.
There are IG models that do all of that and are moms.
Yeah,
there are a bunch of them that are moms that have kids and they hide that part of their life because they want to be successful because. It hurts their image because the niggas that like exactly what I'm saying. The niggas that are rich and successful, if they find out that IG model is married with children, they don't want to fly her out to Dubai. It's a social like stigma. with
I don't think it's
having kids.
I don't think it's that deep. Mainly because I've never cared about women having kids like that. Like,
no,
it's never stopped me from wanting to fuck.
It's not. I'm not saying that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're talking about a whole different. I'm saying relationship wise.
No, but I'm saying,
asking the relationship question.
Yeah, but you never just get into a relationship with somebody without test driving. Like, you figure it out. You see, okay, this person I vibe with. Let me get into a relationship with them.
Yeah, but you're not going to find that.
Right, if your dude is a 10, the guy that you're trying to get for is a solid 10, right? He's in the 1% fucking top tier of money wise for dudes or looks or whatever the fuck. You can't be a 3 shooting for a fucking 10 and thinking, okay, this is going to work out. You have to think, okay, well, you know what? In order for me to get with that 10, I have to make myself like a 7. That 10, he likes these things. I see that he likes these type of bitches on Instagram. So you know what? Let me be that type of chick or whatever the fuck is going to bag that dude. Just like in reverse, that's how I do it. If I want that type of girl, I know that this is what comes with that. I have to become that, or else I'm not going to bag that girl.
The deceitful in a way.
My thing is like, but we're not even talking. We're not talking about bagging women. We're talking about actual relationships. And when you mean actual relationships, those groups of people don't interact with each other. It's like saying, well, you're going to meet this kind of guy if you go to a car meet. Right? But he only drives like rare, ultra rare $1.5 million cars. You will never fucking meet him. You get what I'm saying? It's like a chance of getting meeting up with and it's never gonna happen. And then it will likely never be a relationship. It's not an often thing that happens, that the dude marries to somebody that, that they doesn't happen.
And that speaks more towards our women's expectations realistic nowadays when it comes to the dudes that they're going for. And is that why there's a whole bunch of women fucking the same type of dudes, because they're not finding the dudes that they want out there in the market, right?
I just think people haven't matured emotionally enough to handle relationships, and they get in them and they create people, and it creates problems, it creates trauma. So like my thing is like you choose to be with who you with, right? That has no bearing. It's very possible that you can meet a fucking millionaire dude on a plane somewhere, and you're just bumping him, and he likes your personality. You guys like each other. You get married. I'm not saying that's not possible, but I'm saying that's like us bumping into a very successful rich woman with children, and we have children, and that person like, hey, look, I take interest in this person. Like, it doesn't. Imagine Adele met her husband, and he had kids, but he wasn't rich, or like. It's just less. It's just not realistic. No, it's not.
And that's what I'm saying. It's
but there's no matter of getting hot or nothing like that. It's a matter of preference for life. Like, I want that person in my life for whatever reason. Because there's people like Jelly Roll is a big dude, right? His girl is mad skinny, and they don't look like they're together. She looks like she's his handler or some shit, or like his manager. They're in a serious relationship with each other. And most people would look at Jelly Roll and be like, I don't find this nigga attractive. Like, he's a big, heavyset dude. But she loves that nigga. He loves her. It works. Most people would never think that they could get with that kind of girl or that she would ever get with Jelly Roll. But shit happens like that. So I'm just saying, it's cool to have expectations. Just know how realistic they are, right?
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's all right to shoot up,
and it's cool to have preference.
But I don't think you might get rejected.
I don't even think it's that, because I don't think it's up or down. Because I feel like relationships and money is nice and everything, and all that shit is cool, but it has no bearing on a whole like a familiar situation.
But there's a scale, I think. It's like at least for me,
at some point you still have children, you still have family, you live and you die. You have a relationship with people. It's not just about money. I've known plenty of people with money, and they're fucking miserable fucks. So like for me, it's not a scale for that. You have different kinds of problems, and you try to solve them with money, but it'll never feed your emotional. You'll never have. I've known people that were so rich that they probably make more than I'll ever make in 100 lifetimes, and they were the most miserable people in the world because they can consume as much alcohol as they want. They can go piss in a limousine. They can go throw their dick at somebody, and nothing will fix them not having like their family, not having a serious relationship, because you're so fucked up all the time. You can't establish nothing with nobody. You don't know how to do that. You think money fixes it all, and you can't buy those relationships. Those relationships are the money. So what I'm saying is like that person that's thinking about, I'm trying to establish wealth and all this stuff for myself. Cool. Like, that's cool for you. They're not in the same lane as let's go teach this little human to be a good adult. Like, I want to know this little person. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they're fucking up my vibe. Like, no, because that kind of person is pursuing different shit. But neither here nor there. I don't feel like it's a scale or not. I just feel like you're on a different plane than that person. A single person, very successful, is probably going to meet another single person that is also very successful. What I mean by scale is
that I think, for example, right, there's a term, that person's out of my league. Yeah. So we can compare ourselves to the other person that we're trying to attract and be like, that I'm not even in the ballpark for that person. Now, it all depends what we're being judged for. That's what I mean. Like, for me, the sliders for men are about money. How much money can you fucking make versus women, which is looks, which is where you see like the youth, when the women are in their prime, that's the most valuable fucking currency. The OnlyFans generation, fucking at 18, they're fucking billionaires within 3-4 fucking months because they can. This is like their prime fucking. This is when they're the worst at their most.
I get that, but that's like,
fucked up. That's how the world works.
I just feel like it's not. That's not the ultimate value of a person. I don't feel. So I feel like the ultimate value of
not in a relationship. No,
that's what I'm talking about.
But I'm talking about like instant attraction though. Like what causes you to even go up to a person? What causes you to stick around? Like outside of that's what I was bringing up earlier. I was like, when all you got is your looks, right? After the box, what do you got left? Yeah. What's keeping me here? What makes me give a fuck about your day? Yeah. Because if you're just a superficial bitch who's all about fucking money and your fucking looks and you don't give a fuck about catering to me, you ain't gonna cook for me. I got paid for fucking everything. All this other bullshit. Why do I give a fuck about you? Why am I gonna raise your fucking kids? If you ain't gonna give a fuck enough about me to do a fucking thing for me. And that's what I'm talking about, like the expectations, the entitlements. I can look at other women that I think are out of my league and be like, yeah, I would go for that. But in order for me to get that, I have to obtain this.
I just feel like you're extrapolating based off of literally like 2 sentences. Because we have no explanation on where she's at personally. She could be very well off and have 3 kids and just want to meet a single guy that's well off too.
That doesn't have kids.
That may have kids, may not have kids. She said single. She didn't say like, you know what I'm saying? So I guess she means like guys that have never been in a serious relationship before. She's trying to attract that kind of person. But like, we don't know what her expectations are. She could very well be a homemaker. She could be very well like, hey, you could be a stay-at-home nigga. Like, I just want you to be interested in having a relationship with me because I have kids. Like, when you have kids, there is a stigma attached. And when you're with a person that doesn't have kids, it's a big ass, like bridge to gap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not on the same wavelength of life. So that person would have had to already accept that you had a kid with somebody else and that like, that's not their kid, but they got to be in that kid's life. That's not a single woman or guy is not thinking about that. Like if a girl met a single dude with a fucking kid, it'd be the same thing. It'd be like, man, like, I don't know, because that's not my kid, but like, I want to be a mom to him, but I don't want to, it's something that they have to consider and not something that most people is like the first thing that they think of. Like, okay, this is what my plan of, this is what it's going to be. I'm going to go for this person because of this.
Well, and that's why I think, for example, like, right, like, even though I have an obsession with getting money in order for me to feel financially stable enough to like really be in the relationship that I want to be, right? Like, money isn't the end all be all, because if all I have is money, what do I have left after that? Like, for example, the same way in reverse when I say, yo, if all you got is looks and the box, what do you have after that? The same can be reversed. If it's just money, right? And your only interest in this relationship is money, if I don't have money, what happens?
Yeah, but it should be more of a, like, what do you bring into the relationship, period? Like, I don't even give a fuck about, it's about, like, what are you contributing to keep the relationship good? That should matter
outside of money.
Both of them,
that's what I'm saying, is like, for the man and for the woman, what are you doing outside of just sitting there saying, I deserve this? Like, we all feel like we deserve whatever the fuck we want. Like we all could wake up tomorrow and be like, ah, man, I deserve fucking Jessica Alba. Yeah, but like Jessica Alba isn't on the same tier as me. So like I have to A, be realistic about my expectations, and also B, like if I want that, then I have to strive for it. I have to better myself in order to make myself an appealing choice for them to want to even pick me.
Sometimes you just can't do that.
Because if I want Jessica Alba has 10,000 niggas to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck would she pick me?
I feel like even if you were at Jessica Alba's level, she still might not pick you.
She still might not, because her preference is
her preference.
Of course,
she might be like,
what I'm saying is like,
listen to me.
I wouldn't even be an option. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm not even like on that level enough where she would even like look at me, you know what I'm saying? Like, then what am I doing? I mean, of course, I could want that, but if I'm working at Steak and Shake flipping burgers, I better know. Don't fucking try to go for no Jessica Alba's. Fucking stick to fucking, you know.
We just don't know that about this person.
Nothing.
Did you say a name?
No.
I'm about to edit this shit, you know.
But yeah,
let's just get out of this here, because you know what I mean. Like, I feel like it's just like one of those subjects that could like rub you the wrong way, and based off like the shit that I'm saying. But it's just like me being just genuine about, because I shoot up. I love going after people that are not in my league, because I feel like honestly, if I could bag them, that makes me feel like the shit. Like I'm like the way a hunter must feel when he takes down a fucking like 13-point.
But I feel like you're kind of approaching it wrong, because like to me, bagging it would be like a long-term relationship.
Nah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
The
person from the post is talking about a long-term relationship.
Well, yeah, that's what they want. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
exactly what I'm talking about.
That's not what I want. Right, but
you talking about getting to the box, nigga.
Yeah,
you're talking about keeping the box forever.
But I'm saying that's how it always starts. Though the girls that I've gotten into relationships with, it was always I just wanted to get to the box, and then I got the box, and that's just happened to stick around. You know what I mean? Like
I just happened to stick around. Oh my god! Oh man, I'm trying to segue here, but I'm trying to find a good way to get out of this hell. Oh man,
you ain't never had like women you just stuck around for, like a bitch that like cooks really fucking good, or gave you like really good ass fucking head, or
I'd be miserable.
Fucking
feel miserable.
I don't know, like maybe she gave you fucking money and fucking like splurged on you, or fucking. I don't know. It could be any number of things, but you've never been around someone that like you knew it wasn't going to work, and you just stuck around just a little bit longer because like that food was hitting.
I guess.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
The UFO, the cylindrical UFO that got shot down. That shit looked like an Omega sign. That
shit looked like some Star Wars shit.
It did.
Like the fucking
like a nice like U shape like that. I'm like, it was flying.
It just didn't look like some alien shit. Like it looked like the government like made their own spacecraft, shot it down, and they were just like bragging about it. Like, look at us. We have the capabilities
the shit that
of shooting down
like,
aliens.
You shot it down, but you didn't tell us a motherfucking thing. Like, you didn't tell us none about nothing. And you were supposed to believe it's for defense, but it's like, bro, like, if you shot down a legit aircraft and you've been having them fly around, don't you think after telling us we want to know, like, what it looks like up close, like, what its capabilities are?
Well, not just that, or, like, how the fuck they're going to respond. You just blew up one of their fucking ships. If you just shot a fucking alien ship at the sky, what are they going to do next? Like, because I wouldn't think there'd be a response to that. Just like if we flew fucking our jets over China and China shot down our fucking bombers or fucking, we're coming back to blow this bitch up. Like, so
coming for that booty.
How many months later and fucking aliens haven't even like come knocking? They haven't given a fuck about the little Starship Trooper that they got rid of. Like, I don't know. It just seems really hoaxish to me. Like, which is weird because like it's UFO shit. So like, I want to believe, and all that other stuff, but it just doesn't look like legit to me. Like, even the story when it first came out, I was like, all right, this is weird, because if you guys are saying that, you're having all these problems with these unidentified crafts because they're not popping up on radar, how is then you're just happening to subtract this shit for days? You knew this where the shit was at, where it was going, blah, blah, blah. So even to the point where you can shoot it down.
So I seen that nigga in my backyard, shoot that motherfucker down. They shot that nigga down.
But yeah, all the time you're going to Congress bitching, hey, no, we can't keep up with these things. Speeds, these things are able to traverse between
maybe they shot
air
the
and fucking
model.
Water.
It might be the Hyundai Sonata of UFOs thinking.
I guess, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it almost feels like some government like UFO. Like they built their own shit, tossed it up there. All right, shoot it down, boys. And then they were like, look at us.
The niggas getting the oil change. Shoot that nigga down. Yeah, let's shoot him down.
Like, almost like if, like, maybe, like, at that point, like, people were so scared of UFOs that, like, being a real threat that, like, they were like, you know what? Let's ease their minds. In case there was spaceships flying around, we'll shoot them down for you. Because we're America. We got that kind of capability. That's what it kind of felt like. Just like hey, nothing to worry about. We got this.
Yeah, it's like, bullshit. Like, we should get an after action report on something. Like, we don't want to hear about you. Don't even, like, at that point, don't even tell me, because you're not gonna tell me anyway. Like, why the fuck are you telling me you shot the shit down just for clout? That's like, yo, oh nigga, guess what? I found this shit down the street. You wouldn't fucking believe it, nigga. Hold on, let me show you a picture of it. I show you a picture of it. You're like, yo, that's just mad grainy. You're like, yeah. You like, yo, let me see it. Nah. Well, what was there? Don't worry about it. Like, what the fuck you mean, nigga? Like, you playing with me now, nigga? Yeah. It's like showing me Grand Theft Auto, like, it's showing me somebody playing that shit right now. And it's like its final version and shit. And they're like, coming in 5 years. Like, wait a minute. You making me, why I gotta wait 5 years? And they're not even saying that. It's like showing a trailer to a movie they never released. Nigga, like, what are you doing? Why? Why even tell us? What the fuck?
There's a lot of
the jellyfish fucking UFO, like all that shit. It's like you're releasing all this video. I don't know why. Like scare the fuck out of us. Trickle effect. Maybe you're like letting it out little by little, and you're gonna just be like, hey, you know, aliens or your conscience coming back from the future to visit you in your physical space to remind you that you're a sentient being. Like, okay, like
one day they'll just pop up and they'll just be like, aliens, yeah, they're around.
It'd be cool if you had your own like personal alien though. Like you, there's a Jay Fish alien out there. He's gonna come find you one day, like that kind of shit. Where you meet your spiritual.
Because like, what if he's watching you like jerk off, or like what if he watches you fuck?
Well, I mean, who said that he was like watching you like that? He just like a spiritual brother, like he's your wave on the other
spiritual cum brother.
Yeah, no, I don't mean that. That's kind of weird. Sounds very Diddy-ish, if you ask me. But no, I mean, like, maybe they're your, like, spiritual equivalent on their dimension.
Yeah, what do alien freak-offs look like?
They look crazy. They're out of this world.
I think they just, like, abduct, like, I wonder if there's cows at the freak-offs. Like, that's what they've been abducting these cows for.
Maybe if they're having orgies in the ocean, that's why the water's salty. It's not because of, yeah.
Anyways, Kevin Hart about to get divorced, hopefully.
Kevin Hart?
I mean, not hopefully, but.
Nah, that's not what this is about. This is about something else. Threatens career future?
Yeah.
It's this giant freaking robot.
Nah, it's about the whole Diddy shit. Because supposedly, I mean, people are digging the crates right now on the internet, and they're finding the video of him where he was at the Diddy party, where it was him, Diddy, and Usher, and they were talking about fighting over the Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, but all that was recorded.
And, no, I mean, that's old. But I've heard rumors that supposedly, like when Diddy got raided the first time, certain things were confiscated, and supposedly that's why J-Lo and Ben Affleck got divorced, was because he got a hold of the tapes, and maybe Kevin Hart's wife got a hold of the tapes.
They found Kevin Hart in a briefcase.
Plus, like, if you think about it, like from all the things that we know of like Diddy, we can only imagine the kind of things that were going on in there. Like, imagine like your wife, like watching the video of like, I don't know, fucking Diddy, like dunking his balls on you or some shit. Like they're fucking, you know what I mean? Just like running a train on you. Just fucking Diddy's in there fucking clapping them cheeks, and he fucking tags in Will Smith. And Will Smith's fucking boxing your shit up like Ali, and then fucking he tags in fucking Shaq. And fucking Shaq's like 7'5" ass fucking just rails your shit. And then like the FBI gets a hold of it and sends it to your wife. Like I can see why they'd want a divorce. But
we're assuming a lot here.
No, this is all assumption. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the people, Will Smith, Shaq. You know what I mean? I'm just
don't sue me. Allegedly,
I'm just tossing them niggas in there. But you know what I mean? Like Marlon Wayans. You know what I mean? 50 brought up that shit. Fucking, and then French Montana shut down 50 quick. Fucking. So I mean,
they kissed the dude, but it was a doctored video allegedly,
supposedly, but who the fuck knows? It's just the crazy part is that all this shit is shit that we've already been talked about so many times before. Like, hey, yo, there's all this weird shit going on in the industry. Yo, they doing this, they doing that, and everybody was like, no, y'all niggas crazy. And then like now, it's just being revealed in their fucking faces. Like, oh yeah, that nigga was doing that. That nigga was doing that. There was a lot of butt fucking involved. That nigga was sucking dick. That's why his mouth was wet. Fucking, you know what I mean? Like it's only so much. Diddy, not Diddy, Meek Mill in the pool, whatever. They're saying that he was cooling his ass off because he just remember that video where he was in the pool, he had the fries on his lap and shit in the pool. Yeah,
nigga.
There's a video where Meek Mill's in the pool. He's like kind of like laying on his side almost, like he's sideways, and then like Meek Mill comes up to him, he's like, "Yeah, Daddy, you put in that work today, Daddy." Like something like, "I know you tired, Daddy." Blah 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 blah. And now, of course, this is before everything blew up. People just didn't think much of it. You know what I mean? But then now, like with everything that came out, especially with Meek Mill pretty much being named in the lawsuit, fucking. Now that video of him laying in the pool all fucking sideways looking like he was cooling off something looks a little suspicious. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying he did it, but I'm not saying he didn't either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying that he's on Twitter about offering $100,000 to figure out why people can put him and Diddy together, and niggas did.
Yeah, he's putting on a lot of promo about it.
But
speaking of black men under fire, Eric Adams.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad. Fuck him. I never liked him. I don't know.
He comes off, but to me, it's like he's very geriatric with it. Like the nigga's old, just kick him out of the office. You gonna put him in jail? Like, he ain't gonna
come on now, man. Like we about to get him the old. He's old, geriatric. Like,
nah.
That nigga's not that old.
I'm just saying
like,
the justice.
Like he's not Biden old. Like if it was Biden, then I'd be like, all right, man. Jail-free pass.
Very honest, justice is very preferable to dark people because it seems like those are the only niggas that I've heard about getting indicted with RICO charges in the last like few years that are public headlines. At least
publicly, it only seems like the FBI targets rappers.
Dark people, yeah.
Right. No, not even just dark people, just rappers. Like Sean Combs, Young Thug,
black.
Tekashi 6ix9ine. Well, he's not black, but I mean, like
he was a cooperative. He didn't really get targeted.
There was a lot of black people he had with him. They took out a lot of
those.
Black people.
All those niggas went to jail. Is my whole point. You're proving my point here.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
this guy got a year of probation. Those niggas went to jail for the rest of their lives, like forever. R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, all these people. I don't hear about no white people doing this. I know there's some white people.
You know how shameful they must be to like have followed this fucking rainbow-haired nugget all around New York City, pretending to be fucking like gangsters for him and shit.
He participated. They were in actual gangs.
I bet with fucking like Pantene flowing down his back, fucking just shining.
Wop.
Like,
yeah, that nigga.
And now they're in jail for following that little fucking Skittles around.
Brown, bro.
Like,
because they're brown, bro. It's a lot of brown justice going on.
I would feel disgusted with myself if I was in jail forever because I was part of Tekashi's gang.
I mean, that would suck.
like a nigga named Takashi 69.
But they said that he tried to they tried to kidnap him, fuck his baby mom.
I mean,
rob him.
yeah, and all that.
So like, I get that one, but like, I just mean in general, like when I hear about RICO cases, federal charges outside of Trump, like he's the only one I like heard of.
Well, but even then, it wasn't a RICO. Right?
No, it's RICO charges seem to be after like brown people. Like all the brown people get RICO charges. Like Young got a RICO charge. This thing got a RICO charge. It's like they're just throwing it. Diddy got a RICO charge. The last three I heard of, they're all brown motherfuckers.
It's because the people up top, you know what I mean? They tunnel dwellers.
Yeah, I don't get it. Because the same things that they do could be considered RICO depending on, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like what Cardi B said. It's like oh, it doesn't feel good when Mama's got the gun, right? Like it feels almost like that. Like okay, like it was cool before, but now it's not fucking cool.
I mean, just think about like, for example, like all these artists that got caught up in shit, whether it was R. Kelly, fucking P. Diddy, whoever, right? All these artists get tossed in jail, but the label heads who push that shit, who fucking have their hand in it just as deep as them, don't get no trouble. Even though they profiteer off that crime, they make money. So they're part of that RICO. They're part of that criminal enterprise.
But it sits weird with me when all of those people that I can think of, I can't think of a bunch of people in the other like spectrum. All of them are brown. Like, am I bugging? Am I missing something? Michael Jackson's brown. Like all those stories I hear about people, it's literally been like artists, and they're generally black or brown people. Like period. I don't hear about no white dudes, no white women, no white men. Like I don't hear nothing about them or anybody else. Really, it's been mainly brown people that have like been charged with something. You know what I'm saying? Bill Cosby got charged with something. It's just weird when justice is like. It's just the brown niggas? Like, I know there's other people out there with money, and like there happens to be a lot less brown people with money and influence. So it's like, out of the group of class examples, you have 9 out of 10 of y'all are white, and the one black one, you the only one doing it, nigga. He was by himself. Come on, nigga. Like, come on, stop playing with me. I know y'all niggas did this shit with him. Like, it had to be that way. It reminded me of that Trading Places movie when they're all like on Wall Street and there's like a select few people that are like brown and shit, but there are even like select fewer that are brown and doing well. It just rubs me wrong a little bit where it's like I see people doing similar things, but only the brown ones seem to be going to jail for it. Not condoning it at all because I think it's fucked up no matter what. But like it's just very convenient. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of strange.
To segue back to the original topic. It's very strange when Kevin Hart sells all his restaurants the following week after Diddy gets arrested. You know what I mean? Like, that's where people
he wasn't selling a lot of food. I mean, I wasn't that surprised. This nigga was selling tater tots, chicken sandwiches, plant-based burgers.
I'm just saying the timing is a little funny. He could have waited another month.
Should have added more menu.
You know what I mean?
Like, I don't know. But if you told me my options were tater tots, a plant-based burger, a chicken sandwich, and like it was like one other thing. It was like 5 things, and I'm like, your whole restaurant concept is based off of this. Oh, the other one was like nuggets. It was like fresh nuggets. So you have 5 items, and I know that restaurant's expensive because it's Kevin Hart's. Of course, he went out of fucking business, nigga. And yeah, both at the same time. Like, why would I keep either one open if they're not going to be successful? I'm selling chicken sandwiches and plant-based burgers. Like nobody wants that shit.
I mean,
I don't want no plant-based burger.
But it also could be tied to Diddy, is all I'm saying.
I ain't saying it unless I know it's true.
I mean, he was at the Diddy parties, so...
A lot of people were there, nigga. Why?
And they're all on the screen. They're all on the fire. Watch the party die. That's all I'm saying.
I'm only hearing
That's
about...
time I'm on.
All I'm hearing about is the brown people. That's all I hear about. I heard about all the brown people being...
We was talking about Drake.
Huh?
Drake.
He's brown.
Not that brown.
He's half. Nigga, what do you mean? He half.
I'm being colorist right now.
No, like
he looks like me.
I'm only hearing about the brown people. And then I don't hear about. They say Justin Bieber, but they say that it's more like an abuse. But all the people on the list, except for like a handful of people, are like brown people for the most part. And all the non-brown, we're not hearing about Leonardo DiCaprio get talked about like we're hearing fucking anybody else. J-Lo getting talked about. Like it It just happens to be like the sensationalism is around the brown people. It's like a I don't know, like a weird
obsession.
Yeah, like why? Like they asked
Yo, did you see Jerry Jones watching the players?
No, I saw P. Diddy do it though. I saw they showed a clip of P. Diddy giving somebody a layup and then like going like this, like on his tippy toes to be closer to the dude's nuts as he went over his head to like do a layup. You can see him, like you see his feet like go up like this, and he puts his like nose closer to the nigga's crotch as he's like flying over his head. I'm like, yo, that's the gayest shit I ever seen this nigga do.
Because nigga got sweaty nuts probably from hooping.
He was dunking over him.
Yeah, I'm saying.
And coming from behind him. So he's like over his head. So you let your tippy toes to what? To his balls? Everybody can see you too, nigga. That's weird, nigga. That's very strange. He wasn't trying to hide it. But yeah, they like them all the niggas. They asked Kevin Miles, I think it was Kevin Miles, he was coming out of a car or whatever, like old white dude. He's like, so what do you think about all this stuff that's going on with P. Diddy? He was like, who? He's like, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. And his aide was like, Puff Daddy. And he looked and he just walked away. He didn't say anything, he just walked inside. I'm like,
yeah.
Like Russell Simmons, like barely black, but he's another one.
That's why he's in Bali right now.
Again, the sensationalism, like Russell Crowe or Russell Simmons, that nigga. So that nigga, like we're here. I always hear about what those motherfuckers do, but I don't ever hear about the majority of the music executives.
The Mike Rubins,
like, it's like you got the majority of y'all niggas that own this shit. That have the most money and influence in this shit just happen to be the people that are not getting arrested going to jail. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's kind of weird.
It's America. It's America.
It's just it's very racist. It's a very tinted justice, if you feel what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
We all know who the cops are out there looking for.
It's like, I don't want to see no white people on CNN. If you get charges, it won't be like international news. Like,
just like if it had been a white person that fucking skipped a fair in New York, they wouldn't have pulled a gun out.
No, with a knife, they would have got him mental care.
Yeah,
they was like, look, man, like go down the street.
They talked to him real politely, like, come on,
put it
sir,
down. You don't want to do this, Billy. Like, we just want to go to lunch at 12. We don't want to.
Let's get a slice.
Get a slice down, a dollar slice down the street. Let's walk. Put the knife away. Look. Put it away.
Yeah, they would have gotten that boy some drinks.
But I mean, like on the upper level, like if we truly want to stop them from doing that kind of shit, it's not the Diddies it's the people that let the Diddies rock.
Yeah.
That say that Diddy's fucked up when they decide to say he's fucked up, but they're knowing and willing participants in this said Diddy activity. So it's like you're not innocent to me. It's like the Catholic Church. Like all that fuckery that goes on with their, like if they were anything like they say they are.
Imagine if they would have had cameras in the Catholic Church.
What I'm saying is, if you're real Catholics like you say you are, you're devoted to God like you say you are, why would you not expel these people that are doing God's work but doing this shit to kids? Yeah. You knowingly hide their sins and you prevent them from prosecution. To me, you're just as guilty. If anything, you're worse. You're creating a harbor.
You're enabling them.
You're enabling them to have safety and comfort knowing they're doing evil acts, like knowing. So like those people to me are worse than the person that they just like cast out. Like, I'm sure there's somebody that they're like, okay, well, he touched kids here. Well, we don't want nothing to do with him. Like, you got him. We're not gonna extradite him. Like, fuck it.
I'm sure like Diddy's not like the worst guy in the fucking world. Like, I don't, like wish him like, like death or anything like that. Like, I hope there's justice. You know what I mean?
He gets what he gets, and the victims should get justice if they're victims for real, and it's not no bullshit. Like the people that legitimately got hurt by this man that did that crazy shit, he should get what he's supposed to get.
Baby,
but I'm saying,
baby.
He's a very small piece of a very big onion, and it feels like the light only shines on one part, and we pick off that side. But the whole of the onion is still
How
there.
do you unravel the whole onion if you're too afraid to pick the top layer?
How do you believe an onion that throws off a piece of it to say that part's bad?
I don't know.
Like, that's some suspect shit, right? Like, if you're like, all right, you're in a whole body, say your body was representative of like people, and each like finger was
give her the arm.
and you're like, man, like we gotta cut off the pinky. It keeps going bad. You're like, no, but like you keep doing crime with the other like 9 fingers. We cut the fucking pinky off. As soon as somebody does a crime, cut the goddamn pinky off. It's weird because it's like you're saying this part of that system or this like part of that body is always bad, doing bad. Like let's go after those bad people. But realistically, like no one ever asked the question like who enabled those people to be operable. It had to be that somebody that was above their level that had, you know, some visibility into these scenarios. So like there were, like you said, like there were label CEOs, all these people, politicians, other celebrities. So like you're telling me it's just him?
Yeah. He was at the party alone.
It feels like you're saying the system of fucked upness is just him.
Like he was pimping them to himself.
That's what I mean. That's what the Rico shit gets me. Like, that's not his criminal enterprise. That's the billionaires. That's you guys' club. Like, y'all do that weird shit, okay? We don't have those contacts. We don't communicate with those people. And they don't have a business just with P. Diddy. That doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Those same people that get the same drugs, or that hang out with the same people that get the same drugs, that see with the same prostitutes, that get the same prostitutes, slinging dick over here, slinging dick over there. It doesn't matter that he's in jail. Like, that shit's still rocking. They're still getting drugs, I'm sure. They're still doing drugs. They're still having orgies. None of that changed because this nigga went away.
Yeah.
So, like, I hate it when they're like, oh, we got the diddler. Like, there are many diddlers out there, you know. You got the diddlest one. You know what I'm saying? You got the one that was the most exposed. And it weirdly came after somebody came out and accused him, and after he said he wanted ownership of the liquor company. They were very much like that factual things. Like, he was getting paid $60 million a year just to do Ciroc. As soon as he shits on Ciroc, right, and that goes bad, goes left, then Cassie shortly there comes out, and then immediately after that, he immediately catches his charge for shit he's been doing for decades. So it was cool for the last 20 years. But these last 3 things, like, mysteriously now it's like...
It's what's sending it over the top?
Yeah, it's like off with this head. This nigga said he wanted money for this liquor company because we put his name next to it. Like, fuck you. Yeah. In fact, we got some dirt on you. We're going to get that bitch that you did wrong. We know about her. We're going to get her to put a book out for you. We'll write the book for the bitch. Like, and she's going to get that money out of you. We're not paying you shit. And then after she gets this money from you, she's going to go tell the feds anyway. You know, because she's gonna go make it public so that you'll have to deal with it then, and then you'll be in an even worse situation. Then you have to sell all your shit, get rid of it. If you ever thought you could come up here and ask me for fucking money, like, you got me fucked up. Like, you don't know what kind of power those people have. So it's like that's the person that in the end got off from this and distanced themselves from this entire scenario.
Oh yeah, this is a freak out happening right now as we speak somewhere.
But those types of scenarios don't create themselves by themselves. Like, he wasn't the Hugh Hefner of pimping bitches out and flying across state lines. I'm sure he's seen somebody else do that before. I'm sure he's witnessed other CEOs do that before. So when they make it like, oh, he was this criminal sex enterprise trafficking kingpin, like, no. I don't believe that shit for one fucking minute. No. He did a bunch of crazy shit. And yes, it could be viewed in that realm, like, for what he did was fucked up and wrong, right? He had his own little, and he was intimidating niggas. So there are definitely crimes there for sure. But I don't think he was the only one participating in these things. And I definitely know that people have enabled that type of behavior. So it bothers me more that I don't see other people lined up with him.
Yeah.
And it's just him. Because anybody knows that a rich nigga with a bunch of money that's crazy is probably going to do some crazy, weird shit. For sure. Like, probably. I'm not surprised. Were you surprised about the baby oil?
No.
I wasn't.
Then I also heard it's not even really baby oil, it's drugs or something.
They said it's GHB, but they would tell you it was GHB if it was GHB. They didn't tell you.
Yeah, I mean, this is so much information right now. And that's the hard part is you have to filter through everything. You have to scrutinize a lot of things. So that when you get on these podcasts and start talking, you know, you're not just fucking speculating, or you can actually at least like be able to articulate your argument properly and be like, this is exactly why I feel this way, or blah, 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 blah.
But it bothers me, yo, because it's like, why would the federal government explicitly bring up this nigga had baby oil? Like, what bearing did that have on the case?
Well, to me, that was public.
You were trying to embarrass him.
Yeah.
You were trying to embarrass him.
Yeah. that was so that we would look at him like he's weird.
Yeah,
like, damn, you got 1,000 bottles of
like,
baby
that's
oil.
a lot of baby, but it's
a lot of
baby
ass
oil.
fucking, nigga.
Now, if they said that he had 1,000 boxes of little boys' diapers, then I'd be like, okay, what the fuck is wrong?
Just imagine what like them freak offs look like. Just a bunch of silver surfers just gliding on each other, fucking slipping and sliding.
Diddy has 1,000 boxes of always on tampons. Like, we'd be like, what? That's weird. But like, to shame him for some baby oil because this nigga want to be moisturized and do weird shit. Like, it's weird, but it's not like crazy. If he had like 1,000,
especially if he fucking niggas in the butt.
If he had 1,000 butt plugs, we'd all be like, all right, Diddy, like, what the fuck are you doing? 1,000 other things would make me go, If he had 1,000 cartons of orange juice, we wouldn't give a fuck. It'd be like, damn, that nigga must like wonder what brand it is. You know what I'm saying? Is it Mott's? Is it Mott's? Or no?
Yeah.
It's Walmart brand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't give a fuck. Like, so like, that's not as damning as all the other shit to me.
Yeah.
You know, the other shit's pretty bad. The whole drugging people is pretty bad. The whole keeping them alive through intravenous tools.
You ain't getting no rest.
Yeah.
No rest for the wicked.
Apparently they did sleep and their recovery was the IV drip. So they'd sleep for like 4 hours, 5 hours, and then they'd wake up and they'd put the IV in them and get rejuvenated so they can keep going back at it again. But like, that's my thing. Like, when you're that committed as an adult to take drugs, like knowingly, the people that knowingly did it, that take drugs to fuck other people, you want to get I don't think like he's probably thinking in his fucked up brain, like, nigga, I'm helping you have an experience you probably would have never had if you had not been in my presence at this party. You know what I'm saying?
No problem.
I'll let you have my drugs.
I don't want the experience.
I'll let you have my IV. I'll let you sleep with each other. They didn't know they were being recorded, obviously, you know. But I'm saying in his fucked up diddler mind, he's probably like, you know, like, I'm looking out for you by providing this experience for you.
I'm sure he has justifications for it.
For sure. For sure.
But, I mean, what crazy person don't?
Shit, but that's what I'm thinking about.
That will kill the neighbors and be like, nah, God told me. All right, bro. God didn't tell you to go kill your neighbor. Like, he said the opposite, actually, but you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I think some people had fun and then they got caught at the party and they're like, oh, I got nothing to do with this. So we talk about recordings. I didn't know about that, but they probably knew about it. Some do about it.
No, I mean, honestly, it could be a combination of things. It could have been like, for example, maybe let's say you went to a Diddy freak off, right? He invites you, and then like you're like, let's say a politician, right? Let's say you're running for president, and fucking he pulls you into a back room and says, yo, I got this girl. She ready. She got, we lit. Let's get in there. Let's go fuck this girl, right? You fuck the girl. And then like the next morning you get a call and it's Diddy like, by the way, this bitch was 17 and if you don't do what I tell you, blah, 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 your world's about to go upside down or some shit. And like now what could have been just like a natural, not natural, an unnatural, you know, but consensual decision there's just too many, like with the things that he was doing.
Did he get charged with extortion?
I think so.
Remember.
I mean, I do remember there being underage girls involved in certain. But I didn't
see that. I didn't see like abuse of a minor or anything like that as a charge.
Well, I'm talking about the civil suits, but you know what I mean. I'm saying like what Diddy was doing. We'll never know what brought on, what incurred that wrath. We'll never know. We'll just only know what they'll tell us, the bits and scraps that they're this is for the peasants. Hey, yeah, no, this is what's going on, really. Blah blah blah. But the true shit, like, it's like, for example, I was watching, and we'll start closing this down. But I started watching this doc on Mr. McMahon or whatever, called Mr. McMahon, and Hulk, and it, like in the first episode was like, y'all ain't finna know the truth. We ain't finna tell y'all. Like, that would fuck this up. It would turn a fantasy into reality. Like, we can't like divulge certain things. Like, and it's like, even though like in my head, I'm like, bro, we're not asking you about the magic. We asking about the sex trafficking. That's what we want to be focusing on. But for them, because they're so inextricably tied to it, whether it's because maybe they partied with Vince McMahon himself and fucked some of these girls and did some of these things, not knowing that it wasn't what they thought it was or something. that they can't even speak on it now because that would incriminate themselves into some shit that they don't want to be incriminated into. So I mean, I think it's a very tricky position. I think we're going to see a lot come out. People, of course, we're all going to speculate. We're going to unearth, the internet for all the footage that we see. But what the official stuff that comes out from the court, that's the stuff that we really got to pay attention to. And
but it does suck though because it's like they can lie in the court, and Diddy's like 57 years old. So imagine you became like a rich superstar at 20 years old. You've been doing this wild, crazy shit for the last 3 decades. You get there as literally a middle-aged, almost senior citizen, right? And all your shit is just gone. You never experienced. He's never been in jail like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Imagine somebody.
Now you gotta make somebody sandwiches.
Now you gotta get on somebody else's schedule. Now you gotta like make your own bed. Now they're gonna come in and fuck your room up. Like you would tell everybody what to do.
Imagine somebody coming in Diddy's cell with the baby oil.
I'm just saying, like
somebody
he's probably snapping right now because
what time it is.
Couldn't, like as a regular person, it would suck dick to go to jail. But as a person like Diddy, like nigga, what? I would have, man. That's what I was like. If I ever got a bunch of money, I'd just be chilling. I would not none of this crazy wild shit. Yeah. Relax, enjoy life, nigga.
I think that's what everyone thinks.
Nigga, no.
Like they get there.
I ain't going to jail. I ain't doing it. Nope. I'd rather die than go to jail. Fuck that. That nigga crazy for doing that crazy shit he was doing.
Fight for your ass, boy.
Yeah, now he got to. That crazy shit. That whole Get Him to the Greek movie. That was really P Diddy. That was really him.
Yeah,
I believe that.
But I mean, that's just we'll see what happens, and I'm sure this is just to be like all this stuff is just the beginning. This is like the birthing pains as the trial continues to will go in motion. More things will be revealed, more discovery of evidence will be revealed, and yada yada yada. So, or if even a plea deal was worked out, or if he's going to take it to court and try to defend his name. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how all this turns out. All the the people that are attached to it, how they get exposed, and I think it's just interesting because I think a lot of people, like they do a lot of these things in the dark, thinking that I'll never make it to the light of day, and now a lot of these people are finding out that no, it's making it to the light of day. Now you have to deal with that, and it is what it is. Like you have to like when you do dirt like that, that's part of. Like either you gotta take the consequences that come with that, and especially if an industry built on silence, there's a lot of secrets there. So prayers to everybody, especially to Justin Bieber. I hope wherever he's at. No, I'm dead ass, yo. I'm dead ass. I'm like they
like fuck you, asshole. I ain't got nothing to do with that shit.
He might. But I saw a picture of him today. I want to say he was looking like pretty rough, like Drake at the Michael Rubin party, kind of.
Just be on drugs, man.
No, it could be, or it could be. You know what I mean? Like you see what's going on out there, and I was you hoping you don't get that call from the FBI to be star witness number 1.
I was about to say something fucked up, but I stopped myself. I'm not gonna say.
You shouldn't have.
I should.
No, you should always just.
I was about to say, if we all couldn't get touched like Justin Bieber, so we could be as rich and sad as he is, you know what I'm saying? It'd be nice.
Nah, I'm good.
He was fucked up.
Yeah.
See, yeah.
Yeah, like I wanted Diddy to touch me. Like,
it's not gonna be rich and successful. I take a brief brush of death with some success and money. Man, that would be a game. Like, would you be killed for $32 million? I don't know. I might let somebody beat my ass. No, I don't know if I get raped, but maybe a solid.
It's the end of the podcast. We're done. Cut.
$2 to $5 million. Right.
Wrap it up.
Minus the rape. Take the rape out. The foot to the neck getting kicked out of the hallway. Maybe we could do that.
Scrub a dub. Edit.
For the 5-10.
Anyways, we appreciate y'all watching. As y'all can see, exciting content. exhilarating. But yeah, we hope you support. Hope you keep tuning in. Hope you keep liking, sharing, subscribing, comments to get us on that YouTube algorithm as well as the other bullshit algorithms of social media.
You need to follow us like Diddy did Cassie down that hallway. The same way. Unrelenting.
Pimp us out, daddy. Anyways, we appreciate y'all viewership. And remember, folks, it's all jokes. So stop being butthurt unless you've been to a Diddy party. Then you have every right to be butthurt. And I hope you file a lawsuit. But we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Peace. Go slip with that baby oil.
Any words? I don't even think you spoke this whole fucking podcast.
I did.
Like you just like been in the mummy over there. Fucking. But any last words? I don't even think they picked up that. But,
yeah, I don't think they. No. All I have to say is, I get beat up for $10 million. I'm just saying, nigga, like, I get my ass kicked. It's fine. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, Diddy, we got an offer.
I'm just saying, no rape and no funny booty stuff. But I'll get my ass kicked for a couple million. I don't know who would
Wink. That means he's down.
I'm down for an assault charge for a couple million. It's fine. I think a couple ribs.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Anyways, highly offensive episode 112. We out.
Don't get diddled.